Howdy from Santa Fe, as evidenced by the fireplace in my bedroom. So have you ever been on a team where you felt like there was something catalytic that happened? A fire was lit within that team because of the insertion of a new person to the team? Often when a new person joins a team, it can actually be the opposite. Somehow it disrupts the flow of that team. But there's growing evidence that invisible productivity can happen when you bring someone on a team who helps to maximize the psychological safety of that team. Long ago, Aristotle said the sum of the parts can be greater than the whole. And therefore, Google, not too long ago, did a study called Project Aristotle, trying to understand which teams were in fact that. They were the sum of the parts of the team were greater than the whole. In essence, they studied effectiveness amongst teams. What they found is that dependability, structure and clarity, having a sense of meaning, and having people feel a personal sense of impact in the work were all very important. In fact, those were reasons 2 through 5 for the most effective teams and what was common amongst them. But far and away, number 1 on the list was psychological safety. And psychological safety is another way of describing invisible productivity. It's when people feel that their voice matters, especially if it's a diverse voice and often not heard because they're an introvert or maybe they're not part of the demographic, the dominant demographic of the group. And actually, it's when people introduce some kind of willingness to be vulnerable and fallible and curious, and no one's trying to actually take credit for everything. These are the qualities that actually often come with psychological safety. Now, my experience in the workplace has been that invisible productivity often comes with inserting someone who has some emotional intelligence, maybe even some emotional moderation, and absolutely a desire to make a difference without having their name in the headlights or on the marquee. So as you think about growing teams in the future, keep that in mind. Often we try to look for star qualities, these people who are just going to be like, wow, look at what this person has accomplished in their individual productivity. But when it comes to how we operate in the workplace today, it's less about individual productivity and more about invisible productivity of a team. Who actually is an add to the team that adds the psychological safety, the emotional moderation, and the willingness to actually operate and collaborate as a team? What I will tell you that often that's a modern elder, somebody who's further along in their career and has no sense of selfishness or ego attached to the performance of the team or their own individual performance. So keep in mind, sometimes adding a modern elder to a team will add to the invisible productivity. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be giving you a definition every week from now on.